Hey, I'm Kay, just a girl making ridiculously crazy builds in The Sims. Come check them out.
Welcome back. If you are new here, you are also totally welcome. This week's video is a renovation of an existing lot because it's springtime and we renovate in spring. So we are in Henford on Bagley, and we're going to choose this lot here because I thought that's a nice spot. I've built on this lot before, obviously. I've built on basically all the lots. Anyway, I thought, okay, we're starting off pretty good. Like, I liked the landscaping. I did. I liked the fact there was a garden over here. I liked that there was a little spot for a cow. That's cute. And I liked the gardens, I guess. But what I didn't like was the house. It needs to be a little bit more modernized and basic because I'm going to make it basically a one-person house. So we're going to do a one-level home with one bedroom, one living room, one kitchen, one of everything, one bathroom. Nope, scratch that. We're going to spice it up a bit and do two bathrooms because you don't want your guests coming in and using your main bathroom that's technically your ensuite. That's just weird. So we're going to do a powder room. Anyway, who cares right now? We're going to demolish this house. Boom, magic of the internet, it's gone. And this is the land we have available for our new home. And in about 2 seconds, you're going to see what I've done with it. Here it is. Now, as we pan around, you might have noticed an old man standing out front there. So I actually built this home without a person in mind. So I had to send Professor Dumbledore, my last video guy, to this lot so we could check it out. And he decided to build clay nearby instead. See, the house is just over the bridge in the background over here. And he's like, I just need to build my clay first. Okay, we'll let him do that. And while he builds his clay, we'll take a look at the beautiful sunset. Or sunrise, sorry, it's rising. I don't know things. Some parts of the game, though, I do actually think are pretty neat, like that sunrise. Anyway, now that the sun is up, we're going to do another pan of the house so you can see what it looks like in daylight. Panning around. You see a little glitch happening over there. I will talk about that after if you've noticed it. But first, we're going to take a look inside. After we take a look inside, we're going to do the overall floor plan so I can go over everything again. And yeah, so we're going to go through the custom gate here that I built and into the home. We're just going to get right into it. Here we go. Now, with every home that I build, there is a little something that's a bit off. So that's why I do my testing before I put it on the gallery because I want to make sure that it works. Obviously, this fake cutting board is not going to work like a cutting board, but you can put things on that shelf. So that's cool. Things will snap to it, so you can do that. The living room here, we have a little skylight type thing happening in the ceiling. It's sort of like a modern country kind of vibe. Like you want to live in the country, but you also want to live comfortably. So here you go. You can live here. Now I did update the kitchen a little bit. I will go into more detail on that later because something wasn't working. So we'll get into that. But let's continue the tour into the dining room here, down the hallway there to the laundry room. Basically everything you need to live comfortably in the country. Anyway, let's keep going. Now, as we swing around this part here, this door here is to the powder room. I don't go in there because it's too small to get the camera in there and look around without hurting your eyeballs. So we're going to see that in the overall layout view, bird's eye view, in just a few short minutes. First, we're going to go into the master bedroom. So I've made this a pretty big bedroom with fireplace and beams in the ceiling that kind of go up into the roof that I can't put anything on. the roof up there. I kind of made it a little weird. I wish I did something a little different there, but it is what it is now, and we're going to keep it. So because this build was just for one sim, the bathroom is technically kind of small. It just has the one sink. I didn't do a double sink or anything fancy like that. The room obviously has the space for it, the size of the room. So if you want to download it and change the bathroom up, that's for you to do. Anyway, now we're going to go outside because you can go outside from the master bedroom, and that's awesome. And out here, I've put a sort of standalone, it's attached to the roof system, but we have the sunroom here. And as you can see, it's very sunny and the sun glares on the glass walls. I don't know how to stop that. I think it's because I have my settings so high for reflection, but yeah. Now, one thing I really like about this lot is that it has wild foxes everywhere. So here's one off to the side here. I'm gonna zoom into him. Now these little guys run through the house, and I'm totally all for it. I love it. Come on, hang out. Look, go on in, little buddy. You are welcome. There's also a cute little gray fox that runs around. I've only seen the 2 so far. There's probably more. Anyway, let's get to the floor plan, the overall layout here. So the only thing I've changed over here is the hedging. I changed the fencing and the gate for the cow. And I've also installed this water feature here. Now it's glitching in this view. I think it's because I've sent Professor Dumbledore here on a mission. Basically, he's using it as a vacation home so that I could go through it. I thought that that would be easier. It's not. And because it's a vacation home and I have it in this setting, like it's showing as a glitch. It's very weird because it does work. So it's strange. Anyway, my mouse has been hopping along all the roof systems there. There's quite a few different roof systems going on. I did make a custom gate at the front. I did the path the same. I kept it the same, so I did some more going towards the house. I put a what is that? A sunshade thing over top of the garden because I was gonna maybe wall it in and do a gazebo, but then I didn't. So, you know. Now we've swooped into a closer look of the home. So here are all the different roof systems that I used. So again, I based this on a photo that I saw. So I was trying to really make it look exactly like that photo. And guess what? I achieved it. However, I don't have the photo to show you. So you don't know if I'm telling the truth or not. But trust me, I'm telling the truth. It looks exactly like it. It's awesome. Now, coming through the front here, we come onto a little porch. And then right through the front door into the rather large kitchen for one person. I thought it was cool. It's a country kitchen. It's awesome. We have a little desk over here built in with cabinetry. The sim can use it. He just walks through the cabinet to sit down. That's fine. They walk through everything anyways. We have the living room with comfy chairs and comfy couch and a huge fireplace with this back built out here because that would be there in a real build. There's going to be space for the fireplace workings, the inner workings of it. So we had to add that, right? There's a door out to the back patio here that you can get out to the enclosed sunroom. And then if we go down this way, down the hall here, this first door I didn't go in the video. That's just a small closet. I put a little broom in there right now. So it's really close to the front door, so it still works great. It's hidden from the front door. You don't see the clothes everywhere. It's wonderful. Now, what am I doing with the mouse? Yes, we're going over here into the powder room that I was talking about before. It's just a sink and toilet, nothing fancy. Now, come down this hall here, and we are in the laundry room. So huge laundry room for a single person, but they deserve to have a nice laundry room too. So that's fine. Now the master has a little entry room here and in this huge expansive space that you can do whatever you want with. So I put a fireplace in because that's cool. There's a reading nook off to the side. Well, it's not a nook, it's just a chair. And then the bathroom with the tub that you can see through the barn doors, which is a really cool feature. I like that it keeps it kind of open to the whole space. That's fantastic. There's a ton of room here, like right where I'm putting the mouse across. You could extend the bathroom larger if you want. But I kind of liked this layout here, and I just kind of kept it that way. I liked the room with that even layout beside the windows. I didn't want anything to be all chalked up. So it all kind of flows nicely the way it is, so I left it. But again, if you want, you can change it. The back porch, I did put a fence around this side because I didn't want the Sims going that way. I wanted them to come around this way to go to the fire pit over there. And then they can come around this way and go into the little sunroom here to enjoy that space. And then come around here and go hang out in the little pond, which is glitching in this view. See the blue there? Not cool. However, you will see later on that it's perfectly fine when my Sim is hanging out over there. So that's strange. Anyway, that's basically it. This is the whole house. That's all we've done. Nothing super crazy. I'm going to need to do another crazy build soon because that's in my intro, right? Come see my ridiculous builds. And here I'm showing you like a basic cool house. But let's get back to some of the issues I was having. So when I was vacationing with Dumbledore to the property, he wouldn't go there initially. And I was like, what did I just do? Because I set it as a rental, right? Do you see what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I set it as a rental property. And he wasn't looking to rent. He was looking to vacation. So I had to go back into the build in build mode, change it from residential rental and go all the way down to vacation rental so that he could vacation there, so that I could walk him around the property and do those walkthrough videos, because it's so much easier when he's on the property, when you have a Sim on the property, to do those kind of videos. Anyway, now it looks like that symbol of that place over there, and perfect. It is now a property he can go to, and boom, that's how I got him there. And then he's gonna go in, and then I can tell him to do things because now he's vacationing there for 2 days. First thing I told him to do was to go cook something, and he was like, I can't. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to figure that out. But let's figure that out after, because I want to go check out the pond. So the pond out here, as you can see, it's not having a glitch, but you can put piranha, koi, whatever that is, and sharks in. So that's cool. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's put some sharks in this pond, or garden, water garden, whatever they're calling it. And look at that. That's pretty cool. So even though I shrunk this garden down one by one shrinkage, it still works with the sharks in it really well. And it just doesn't work with the waterfall at the back, but it looks like it's just spraying water out like a little fountain up there. So I still think it works pretty fine. Here's the view of it when it was glitching out. See, so that's when he's vacation rentaling. I am losing my marbles. Anyway, I told him to go swim with the sharks because you can do that. And then the bubbles, look at the bubbles just coming up underground there too. It's still fun with the glitching, so I don't care. However, if you move into the home, so I actually had Professor Dumbledore move into the home because it was so much easier to go back and forth to build mode and then back to live mode, back to build mode to make sure things were working. So I'm like, just move in. Look at the shark at the bottom there. You could see him it's just hilarious. Anyway, look, when he moved in, it was back to normal. So I mean, it works fine. If you download it from the gallery and it doesn't work, I don't know what to say. It's the game. I can't help you. Now I'm going to speed it up here a bit because I've asked the professor to come outside and play with the sharks. So I want to see what playing with the sharks looks like. What can he do to play with them? Because I've never done that before. Okay, so he basically just takes a fish and dangles it around. And I would say that he's not really playing with them. He's teasing them. You are teasing a shark. That is a bad idea. Anyway, back to the kitchen where we were having the why won't he cook issue. So I had to add a fridge. I have 2 fridges right here where the mouse is under the counter. But I had to put in a real size fridge, those are just like the under counter fridges, for him to actually use the stove, which was really annoying because I didn't want that right there. It ruined the aesthetic of the window going into the living room. I just was not a fan of that. But unfortunately, to use the stove, you have to have it there. And there was really nowhere else to put the fridge other than over on this other side. And I didn't want to do that because like it just didn't work. So you see the 1-bar fridge I have there. I thought if I could shrink the fridge, maybe he'd use it. No, he's like, I can't use a miniature shrinkage fridge. Why not? Like, you should still be able to use it. That's annoying. Anyway, here he is in the bathtub. He's had a rough day with the whole fridge issue. Anyway, let's prove that the fireplace still works on the platform here, just in case you're like, does that work? Yeah, it does. He's just going to use his lighter and light it up. And then it's like wonderful ambiance while he's in the tub. He can have the doors open and still see it, and it's fantastic. And look, he's like, I'm going to go back in the tub now because I wasn't done my bath. Well, in the end, this is now Professor Dumbledore's new home. It doesn't actually suit him at all, honestly. He's not the country guy. He needs to stay in his home. So we're going to have to move him back.